Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh aircraft release from ICM, and it comes in 1/48 scale. So here we have another version of B-26, this time it's B-26F Marauder, and it's a kit number 48325. So what I have here on the table is the final shape of this release, and as you can see, it still comes in a quite large box. Here is comparison with my hand. It has a nice box art, and that's the final shape of this release, so it means it should be already available in Modelimex, and you can order it and you'll get exactly the same stuff if you will watch whole video review today. So first of all, I would say that the previous versions of this kit were quite nice, so that's why it is interesting to check what is different here. And box art hints that we will get probably this metal color markings included, and here on the side you can see also some information about the kit. So it's written here that we have 380 parts and the wingspan will be 454 millimeters, so it's almost half a meter, and you should account for this if you are tight on space. But here we also get the short view on the side profiles of the markings which are included here. Obviously we will talk more about them when we'll be checking the assembly manual, but I guess it gives you an idea what to expect inside this nice box. So what I'm doing right now is cutting through the plastic tape so that we can check all of the parts. All ICM boxes now are sealed with the tape, so that's why I have to do this. And as you can see, in one side they were so generous that there are two stickers applied on on top of each other. And in the meantime, I can also remind you that you can support me with a small donation. It's quite easy thing to do, and I have a big red button on the website, and you can do it via PayPal with help of this button. And of course you will be the one deciding how much I will get, and all of this money, all of these proceeds are used in order to get new kits to be reviewed in these videos. So I've just opened the box, and we have two plastic bags like this, and it's actually a good thing, because before they were trying to pack everything into one plastic bag and it wasn't giving you any good result. Everything was a bit too tight, and now it's just two nice separate plastic bags with the parts having enough space inside. So just give me a second to open it. You can probably hear it in the microphone. And we start with the gray plastic sprues. So the first one is the frame F, and here it is. I guess we can zoom in as well so that you can see it, all of the parts closer. Here we have the wing mechanization. Also we have some interior parts. Those are the landing gear legs, and also some parts for the interior of the wings as well. Well, the molding quality here, as you can see, is quite nice, but for the landing gear legs, well, I'm always afraid with such big models that the plastic will not be, let's say, enough in order to hold everything in place. So in case you are of the same opinion, then definitely go for the metal parts. But here we continue also with interior parts, and this is quite an unexpected thing for a 1/48 scale kit even today, because a lot of brands try to sell it separately. Here you get it in the standard package, and what is even more surprising is that there are not that many doors or hatches you can open on the finished model, so that's why it's quite interesting that ICM decided to go this way and have everything in the kit. Next we continue with the bulkheads, which will also serve as the wing supports, because as you can see we have these large tabs. They will be actually holding the large wings together. But what I recommended in the previous videos, and what I will recommend in this one as well, is to find the metal rod, because it will give you a bit more sturdy connection between the wings and the fuselage. And of course it will also add some weight, which is needed here, because otherwise you will get a tail seater. Next, I'm showing the sprue, which is supplied in two pieces, because here we get the cooling parts, we get the landing gear parts, and also the engine parts. So both engines are nicely copied out of the box. Again, this is a nice difference from all recent trends in other brands. And of course you can leave one of the coulings unglued, and then you will be able just to take it off and show what is under it. And I think that's a really neat feature. In 148 scale it looks impressive. I saw some modelers doing this actually, so that's why I'm recommending you to think about it as well. Next we continue with the fuselage halves, and as you can see, these are coming on their own plastic sprue. They're quite big and both are molded without the tail section. And as you remember, we have also quite a generous interior included out of the box. So it might be a good idea to think through how to show it on the model, but I don't think you will have a lot of options here. And if I flip it over here, you can see also some minor cockpit features which are pre-molded inside those parts. Okay, so next we have the second plastic bag, where we have the clear parts, and those clear parts, they are wrapped in the foam, which is a nice change from the typical packaging style in ICM. As you can see, the molding quality is really great. Clear parts in ICM never have been a problem, so this one is not an exclusion from this rule. But the masks, well, this question remains until we check the assembly manual, because that's where they usually place the masking guide or masking templates. Next we continue here with the wings, and as you can see, each side should be glued out of 2 halves. We also have the tail wings, we have here the bulkheads, and if I flip over this plastic sprue inside, as you can see, we have the guiding pins for all of those parts, which is very, I would say, useful, because the parts are quite big, and without it, it will be very tricky to combine everything in the proper way. Next we continue with the sprue E. Here you can see another bulkhead with the wing supports, and here as well, but I guess those ones will not be used in today's version. We will need to check when we will be going through the assembly manual, but again, the design is pretty much the same. We have the guiding pins, and they should come in handy. Next we continue with another plastic sprue. So here you can see the wing parts again, and also engine gondolas. About those ones, I again not sure. I guess if they are coming in the separate plastic bag, it's the version which will be used, and the ones which we saw earlier, they will not be used because they are for a bit older version. There is also another clear frame. As you can see, it looks quite good, and those parts are as nice as what we saw in the previous sprue. And now we also have the, well, there should be the decal sheet hidden in the assembly manual, and yes, it is there. So it's not that huge, well, at least in my opinion, for the 148 scale kit. But as you can see here, we have all of the necessary symbols. We also have some stencils. We even have the decals for the instrument panels, but there are no seatbelt decals. And overall, we have pretty much standard marking, I would say, design. So it's just a matter of applying those decals on your model, and they are usually quite nice to apply, to work with. So I don't think you will have any issues here. And as for the assembly manual, I'm just closing the lenses a bit more so that you can see this nice color printed brochure. So we have short history note here, and then on the next page we have the parts map. So as you can see here, none of the parts are actually marked with the red color, which is quite interesting. But on the next page it's slightly different situation, because as you can see, we have the bulkheads marked, and also some clear parts will not be used. Next, we also have the first assembly step straight away going to the drilling of the fuselage halves. So pay attention to how it should be drilled and where, because it will be necessary in order to install some parts later. And here, by the way, you can see how detailed the interior will be in this model. So this is really cool, and I think it might be also a good idea to search for some pilot figurines to place inside. Next, we continue with more steps on the opposite fuselage half, and then, by the way, you can see here that 90 grams should be inserted in order to have a properly standing model, so quite a hefty weight. Next, we continue with the bomb bay, which can be replicated in open or closed position. Here you can see also the wings assembly, and as I was saying, it's also quite detailed inside, I mean the wing, each side of the wing. Next, we have also the mechanization, the engines, so you'll have to repeat this procedure twice, and engine gondolas gets assembled. So those are actually the new type of the engine gondolas, which we saw on the last gray plastic sprue. Here you can see also the leather being installed inside, and I'm just checking how the nose landing gear will get into the place. And on the next pages you can see also the main landing gear going into the place, landing gear wheels, and we even have the masking template, which is really cool. I think on this aircraft it's a very important bonus. And here you can see two marking options, and here is the third one from the same 1944. But the nose arts are quite funny here, so definitely check them out. And as for the whole kit, it's already available, as I said before, so if you would like to get one for your collection, you know that you can find it in Modelimex. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.